Good morning, fifth graders. Tuesday. What is it? April 20th today? That's right, tie Tuesday, looking swell. Besides the tie today, though, I have some extra that I'm wearing. Check this out. My chain hang low. Oh yeah, what's that? Remember the 3D printed Disney thing, the first thing that I got? I painted it gold and I made a chain out of it. Now I got to get a better chain. Right now I just have fishing string. But I think I'm going to have this in class and let Miss Lindsay and Miss Smith borrow it so that when you guys do something good, the person can wear the chain for the day. Yeah, the chain. Come on. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's dive into some math. All right, so let's go back to last week. Remember last week, the theme was I know it all? Because you do. It's all up there in your brain. Now, hopefully when you've been trying some of these problems lately, you're like, oh, yeah, I kind of remember. Oh, I got that one mixed up with that one. But in the end, you do know how to do them all. And I'm starting to see that already, that you guys are starting to come together and this all starting to make sense, okay? So this week's theme, as you can see right here, is what kind of problem is that? Because now we're on our third page. Hopefully you've been studying these at night. Just literally take 2 minutes to look at the front and the back and try to remember which problem is which. Now, it seems like a lot of problems, but it's not, because a lot of them you already know. So there's going to be maybe 3 to 4 you don't know, and those are the ones you have to really study. And then you'll learn those, and then you get more. So it's kind of like, and plus, remember, it's somewhere there in your brain. So that's kind of how you study. All right, I want to say that, give you a date to look forward to. So our big math test for the end of the year, the snow cone prep test, is going to be Thursday and Friday, May 13th and 14th. So it's about a month away. Seems like about a month away. We're just going to keep with our snow cone prep until then. And then the next week after that, we're going to have some kind of party, both in school and online. And you guys, I don't know that we can do snow cones. I'll ask. But if we can't do snow cones, we're definitely going to get those awesome popsicles that Miss Oligny used to sell. And we'll watch a movie and enjoy those, or play a game, or do something fun to say that you guys really worked hard for this. But you got to work hard. Take your notes, study your blue flashcards, and just keep on trucking, okay? All right, fifth graders. Let's go to the next thing. Coding and game design. Yes, there still is coding and game design. I know it's been difficult because we ran into spring break. We had a lot of momentum, watch Portal 2, all of that. So tomorrow, when I have all of you, I'm going to end math a little early, and then all the kids that are still in coding and game design and want to be, I'll talk to you about your games and if you need help, and make sure you have your assignments, and kind of get the momentum going again. So there's that. And remember, creative writing, your Force Awakens has started with Miss Hill. So she's been contacting you. You probably already signed up. She came into homeroom to talk to you about it. So if you have any questions, or you're stuck on that, or anything's going on with that, obviously it's hard to do it with kids in school and out of school. But go ahead and email Miss Hill. All right. That brings us to the problem of the day. So let's set up our notebooks first. I do have a doodle of the day. That's something different for these videos. And then we'll dive into the problem of the day. So let's switch over before we start trying to do this problem. And no, you don't have to write that whole thing. Let's switch over to all right. So 3-column notes. I think we're on day 6 of snow cone prep. So let's set up our notes. We're actually going to not take a lot of notes today, because we're going to use one of these papers. But if you don't have that paper, then guess what? You can do it right here in your notebook. All right? So let's write POD for problem of the day. Let's write snow cone prep, day 6. And today is the 20th, 4/20/21. Today, my daughter is at the University of Wisconsin in Wisconsin, visiting where she might go to school. Big news, huh? All right, down here, remember, you draw a line and write DOD for do of the day. But we'll get back to that in a second. First, let's dive into the problem of the day. So the problem of the day that you're going to see is a lot like one we did both for your homework last night and in class. It's going to ask you to write a equation, and it will tell you what it needs to equal, and then you actually have to solve the equation, or meaning just solve the problem. So I'll read it to you, and then you guys can pause the video, give everybody, whether you're at home or Miss Lindsay and Miss Smith, a couple minutes to try to work it out and talk about it, and then I'll go over it. So it says Erica works for 15 1/3 hours per week. She spends 3 2/5 hours per week watching Netflix. Write and solve an equation, okay, so that's just a number sentence, where M represents the amount of time she spends watching Netflix and working per week. So that means as you write the number sentence, you have to put equals M. Okay, now you just have to know is it add, subtract, multiply, or divide, and then actually work it out. So go ahead and do that, and I'll switch over. Okay, so let's write the equation first. That's really what this is. A lot of kids get stuck on having to write the equation, but it's really not hard. Okay, so we have 15 1/3 hours. That's how much she works. And then we had 3 2/5 hours of Netflix, and they tell you it needs to equal M. So now you just have to choose, is it adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Well, she did this much and then she did this much. That's pretty easy. It's adding. Now we go back to our theme for the week. What kind of problem is this? What kind of problem is this? Now I asked somebody yesterday in distance learning what kind of problem this is, and they said 4-box area model. No, that is a common mistake because it is a 2-digit by a 2-digit, but this is adding. So how do we add? We stack it. What kind of problem is it? Stacking. So we have 15 1/3 plus 3 2/5. What kind of fraction bars? Oh, I'm going to do cotton candy fraction bars. How about that? Cotton candy fraction bars. Remember, the whole goal is to get what's called a common denominator. So we're going to count by 3s and 5s. Looks like, see, no match yet. There's no match. I'm just doing multiples, 5, 10, 15, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yep, they're going to meet at 15. A lot of you, your brains just tell you that, which is cool. Then we do our 4 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we ask ourselves, how many 5s go into 15? 3. Whatever you do to the bottom of the fraction, you do to the top. 2 times 3 is 6. How many 3s go into 15? 5. Whatever you do to the bottom of the fraction, you do to the top. 1 times 5 is 5. And now what Mr. Manfield always freaks out about, we write this sideways. So we have 15. These are our new fractions. 15 and 5/15 plus, remember it was adding, 3 and 6/15 equals 18 and 11/15. So M, remember you said that it equals M. M equals what? M equals 18 and 11/15. So that is how you write and solve an equation. All right, let's take a look at this doodle of the day. This doodle of the day is courtesy of Ella. You don't have to write this, but give some love out to Ella, who did our doodle of the day yesterday in distance learning, and she gave us this doodle of the day. All right. So the only hard part for me in this was to draw this first part. So that part's a little bit tricky. So go ahead and do that. Something like that shape. Okay, then our next thing is we're going to draw this. Now, a lot of you are going, oh, it's going to be a vase. It's going to be a mushroom. And you're kind of both right. Then we're going to go right from about there. So, yep, looking a lot more mushroomy. But this next part is the part that kind of surprised me, that I thought was cool. When you put the top on this, now way, way more mushroomy. Now the details is what makes it. Make some lines like this. Now really mushroomy. And I bet you can already predict what we're going to do next. Do some circles. We did kind of like a mushroom like this. Remember when Angelina did it last week? And then add whatever kind of face you want. And there's our cute little mushroom for our doodle today. Give you a second to get caught up, obviously. Show those off to your teachers. Hey, you can, if you're at distance learning, if you're, hybrid cohort B, you could email me a picture of your doodle today and your notes. That would be super impressive, showing me that you actually did your problem of the day, which is cool. All right, let's correct that homework from last night. The key to all of this, fifth graders, is the homework. We go over these problems, and then you've got to try them at home to make sure you can do them at night. So here was your homework last night. Let's see how you did. So problem number 1, what is the difference between the heart and 1/3? So first of all, what is difference? It's telling you what to do. It's telling you to subtract. And it wants you to subtract the heart from 1/3. The problem is the heart, you have to figure out where the heart is. It's a number. It's on a number line. So it's after the number 1. So where's the heart? It's at 1. And then you got to count the jump. So it's at 1 and something. You see it's past 1, but before 2. So let's count. It's at 1, 2, out of 3, 4. It's at 1 2/4. And they told us we need to subtract. So we're going to subtract, and we're going to subtract 1/3. Now, I'm going to go over this fast because you already did it for your homework. If you did not, then you need to do it now and copy me. So it's going to be a little bit hard to keep up. But for everybody else, I'm just going fast. You should be giving yourself stars or fixing your problems. Okay, so how many 3s go into 12? 4. How many 4s go into 12? 3. And then go ahead and write it sideways, but it is subtracting. So it's 1 6/12. Take away 4/12 equals 1. 6 take away 4 is 2/12. Hopefully you didn't add. A lot of kids will mess up because your brain always wants to add. Now, if you really want to be advanced, you could divide the top and bottom by 2 to get to 1/6, but I'm cool with 1 2/4. Or I'm sorry, 1 2/12. Don't want Bryce sending me messages that I messed up on my video. No, it's okay, Bryce. It means you're paying attention. All right, so right here, what do we have? We have a number. It is right now in 5th grade expanded form, and we want to put it into standard form. So how do we do that? Well, this 7 times 1,000 is 7,000. 4 times 10 is 40. 6 times 100 is 600. And 4 times 1/10 is 4/10. Or you could put 4 in the 1/10 place. And now you just build the number. This is out of order, but just build it. 7,640. 7,640. And then the only place value Mr. Merrifield ever asks you to memorize is the one behind the decimal. That's the 1/10. And that's a 4. So 7,640 and 4/10. All right, next one. This should look very familiar, just like our problem of the day. You see how I'm doing this? I'm doing the same kinds of problems for you guys to get good at them. Okay, they're not hard. They're in your brain. You just have to do them. Eric plays piano for 2.5 hours per week, spends 3 3/4 hours soccer practice. Write and solve an equation where W this time instead of M. Okay, so let's write 3 3/4. I don't know what it is yet. 2 1/2 equals W. Total time, which would be adding. And then you just go ahead and add that up. I'm not going to actually do that because of time and show you the answer. You could do it in class. If you're at home, just give yourself credit for writing the equation right. That's kind of the big part of this. All right, let's go to this one. Oh, we've seen this one all last week. Write a positive value for n where the product is greater than. So product number means times. Greater than 9, but less than 18. So remember, it can't be 1 because then you get 9, but it's not greater than 9. It can't be 2 because then you get 18, and it has to be less than 18, so it's a number between 1 and 2. So whatever you put is fine. 1 1/5, 1 1/2, 1 99 1/100, 1 3/4, whatever you need. Number 5.
What is the area? This comes from Miss Graham. Remember, length times width. This is just a secret way to get you guys to multiply. Now, remember what our theme is. What kind of problem is that? What kind? Yep, multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Can that be made into 1/6? It can, but we'll leave it like that. And finally, I got to have a review one. Magic 0. Okay, so what do? Let me get a different color here. Let's go with green. First, I'm going to cover, and I'm going to start with my 6. 6 times 8 is 48, just like our flashcards yesterday. You see how we're reviewing, and it's all working together. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 4 is 40. And then we got our kill cross magic, right? So we're going to kill the 6 because we're all done with it. Cross the 4, put down our magic 0, always in the ones place. Now we're on the 7. 7 times 8, in order, 5, 6, 7, 8, 56. Carry the 5 up, way up. 7 times 6, tied their shoe. When they got up there, 42. Plus 5 is 47. And you add 8, 6, 11, 5. 5,168.
That was easy.
All right. Now take a break, stretch, do something. I know this lesson's already getting long, but I'm going to put this back over here, and we're going to grab our flashcards, blue flashcards. Oh, that's page 2. That's page 3. All right. So you know how to get these out. If you're in class, study them however you would like, Miss Lindsay and Miss Smith. If you're at home, just take a look at it. Or as I point at them, see if you can say it before me. I'll give you a little second to catch up. Yep. Length times width times height, base times height. How many inches in a foot? 12. How many ounces in a pound? Hopefully you're saying it to yourself. 16. How many meters in a kilometer? 1,000. How many centimeters in a meter? 100. What kind of problem is this? Stuff over people. What kind of problem is this? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Oh, you guys are on fire. What kind of problem is this? Factor tree. How do you move on a coordinate grid? X, then Y. So over and up. Let's take a look at the back. You see all of those answers are there. 12 inches in a foot, length times width times height, base times height. It's all right there. That's how you study. All right, let's look at page 2. See if you can beat me on page 2. What kind of problem is this? That's right, repeated adding. 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3, or put it over 1 and multiply straight across. What kind of problem is this? All fractions are division problems. Is 12 divided by 5. What kind of problem is this? We just did one of these. Multiply straight across. What kind of problem is this? It's multiplying. 4-box area model. What kind of problem is this? Dividing. Oh, my brain goes, start with the whole number, end with the whole number. Start with the fraction, end with the fraction. Adding. We did a lot of this on our homework. And we did it on problem of the day. Actually, subtracted, but the same thing. Stack it. And then the easiest problem in 5th grade. How do you write this as a division problem? 3 divided by 4. Let's take a look at the back. See, it's all right there. 4-box area model. Multiply straight across. I wish I would have wrote arrows on there. I will for next year. Start with the fraction and you guys get it. All right, last one. This one's a little harder. More to remember here. How about this one? Oh, what? We just had this one right here. Look, I don't know why it's on there twice. But multiply straight across. Ooh, how do you do adding or subtracting decimals? You have to line up the decimal. So let's see how I do it. Oh, should add a 0 right there, right? See how this one has 2 behind the decimal? 1, 2. And this one only has a 10th. Remember, if you add a 0, then they'll automatically line up. So totally lining up the decimal by adding the 0. This one I'm going to come back to. Dividing decimals, boy, we barely did this. You just move the decimal straight up and do regular long division. 9/12, how do you make it in simplest form or make this smaller? You have to find something that goes into 9 and 12. Divide both by 3, because 3 can go into 9 and 12. Half of Eric's yard is concrete. 2/3 of that is concrete is basketball court. How much is Eric's basketball court? Yard is basketball court. It's a part of a part. Of means almost always times. Okay, how about this one? Write in expanded form. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, or 10,000. And finally, 4 quadrilaterals. How about a rectangle, a square, a trapezoid, and a rhombus? There's all the answers on the back. Okay, what are we looking at? This is a long video, 19 minutes. Ouch. All right, let's dive into today's work. The worksheet that you are going to need looks like this. It says partner work. Either you got it or you don't. Okay, if you are at home or with Miss Lindsay and Smith, I am going to skip these first two. Why? Because you already know how to do these. I think you guys should do them in class and talk about them, but I'm going to skip going over them right now because we've already done a bunch of these. Let's go to this one right here. It wants you to put this ordered pair on here. So first, what do? First number we go over. Second number we go up. So it wants you to go over 1 and 3/4. So you got to look at this, fifth graders, as like its own number line. See, like this. Its own number line. So where is 1 and 3/4? Well, here's 1. And then you got to go 3 jumps out of 4. So 1, 2, 3 out of 4. So you're going to start here. That's not actually where the mark goes, but I'm just going to get us started there. And then we need to go up 1 1/2. So you go up 1 and then 1/2, right? Halfway between 1 and 2 is right there. So where do they meet? That's where you'd put the mark. So you go over 1 and 3/4, up 1 1/2, and make your mark. Okay, number 4. Write as an exponent. What is an exponent again? Remember, an exponent is a number with a little number right there. Well, we'd have 10. And what are we going to put in that little box? However many zeros we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 to the 5th power. I'm not going to do this Alex one either. This Alex problem is just like we did last night. Again, Alex did 2 things. It tells you what the equation should be. You have to do how much more. So you have to decide, is that adding or subtracting, and then solve the problem. Okay. Oh, look at, we've seen this one before. Find the area. Now I am going to do this one with you though. Length times width. Because what kind of problem is this? See, this is what I like about this one. We haven't done one of these. What kind of problem is that? I'll give you some clues. Multiply straight across, 4-box area model or 2-box area model. Yep, I know someone got it out there. 2-box area model. So let's split it. 2 and 3/4, right? I'm just pulling this number apart. 1/2. What meets in box 1? 2 times 1/2, right? 2 comes down, 1/2. What meets in this box? 1/2 times 3/4. So what kind of problem is this? Repeated adding, or put it over 1 and multiply straight across. You get 2 over 2. What's 2 over 2? 1 whole. Here we multiply straight across. We get 3/8. So what do you do to these two numbers? Add them, right? So you get 1 plus 3/8 is 1 and 3/8. All right, I think we're going to stop with number 7. We're going to do one more and then we'll stop. You guys have been such good listeners. This long video. How many ounces are in 3 1/3 pounds? Well, how many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. How do I know that? Wait, let me show you how I know that. Ounces in a pound, 16. And there's 3 of them. So we're going to go 16 plus 16 plus 16. Or what's a better way to do that? 16 times 3. 48. But now what's 1/3? I think I meant to do 1/4 because I don't think you can get a third of 16. You can, but it's going to be very complicated. So let's just do 1/4. I messed up there. Let's do 1/4 of 16. Multiply. Put it over 1. Multiply straight across. You get 16 over 4. All fractions are division problems. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So remember, you had 48 plus 4 equals 52 ounces. Last one. Look at bonus. Write this as a division problem. How do you write 4/7 as a division problem? 4 divided by 7. Easiest problem in 5th grade. All right, that was quite a video. What, 23 minutes long? Ouch! Hopefully this pops back. Thank you for listening, for working. Remember, you have homework. You're going to have about 6 problems that look almost exactly like these. Because as you're seeing, we're starting to spiral. You're seeing the same kinds of problems. Now, I'm adding different kinds every day because we've got to do that over the next 3 weeks to go over all the stuff that's on those blue flashcards so that we can have a cumulative snow cone prep test. Have a great day. And remember, we love Disney.